This is iodine that we're putting on these to test for starch. What about this number? Number 9 doesn't look quite as... Still think brown, 5 is more brown colored, but it seems like the longer they sit, the darker they get. So this one does have a distinctly browner appearance than this one, which is more black. This one kind of looks brown, number 6. Some of them we thought 9 looked brown, and then some. Okay, now notice it on 12. I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually just kind of transparent. It's not even like absorbing into it. So
now that's not necessarily a bad thing. I was actually telling the two of them.
How is that not a bad thing? I mean, if it won't absorb into the body of the
because
animal.
If it doesn't absorb very quickly, that necessarily means that it's more compacted. The question is with what? Now, number 12, I'm not going to tell you which brand it is just yet, but it is a more higher quality food and has a lot more meat protein that's more compacted together, thus the irregular oblong shape. And that's why the iodine specifically won't absorb into it because it's not as
the
porous.
hydrophobic nature of the dog food have something to do with the fat content as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that could play a role in it. But
Number 12 specifically also has a little bit more fat than everything else. How we were talking about, higher protein, more fat, less carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Cool.
And given the fat,
My first initial thought was that if it's not absorbing well, like you were thinking, like it'd be very difficult for the digestive tract to digest it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that may have something to do with fillers or something else affecting the absorption. But there's other things like fat content, I guess.
It could make it where it wouldn't absorb.
And while the following analogy might be a bit of a misnomer, let's say that I have a raw steak next to me versus a potato that's a starch, and I am, say, doing this, test on both. Which one do you think is going to be a bit more granular in texture and porous, and is going to absorb whatever I drop on it? Probably the potato.